friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. In today's video, I'm going to be completing a spread in my pocket page notebook using the August Stories by the Month kit from Ali Edwards from 2021. So for this layout, I was inspired by this card right here that says Life Goes On. And I love how there is a rainbow of colors on this card. And then I also have the Stories by the Month stamp set where it's got a half of a circle that is a filled in circle and then half of a circle that is this like speckledy pattern. So what I'm going to do is create my own layout using those two stamps and a rainbow of inks from Ali Edwards Crafters Ink line. And I'm going to then take this card and fussy cut out the word and add it to the pocket that goes in between, and most likely I will just go ahead and stitch that onto the onto that section, onto the, what do I want to call that? The pocket part. And then my photo is just going to be the photo on the side of it. So I am going to go ahead and get you on fast forward while I put this one together. And then once I've got it all done, we'll slow back down and close out of this video for today. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to get started today working on my layout here by taking the journaling card with the Life Goes On title. I'm going to cut those three words apart, the Life Goes On, and set them to the side to take over to my couch later and to fussy cut them out while I watch an episode. I went and did that first because I also am going to do the same thing with these circles. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Crafters inks in a rainbow of colors to create some polka dots. So my idea is to take the filled in circle and we're going to stamp that as the top portion, and then I'm going to grab the speckledy half circle and I'm going to turn it upside down and stamp that on the bottom so it becomes a full circle. And I'm going to do this in a number of the colors. So for the red, I started by doing a speckle of the red and a full of the red. And then I'm going to take the pink and do the opposite side. That one right there in the middle, I didn't quite get it as close together as I wanted to. So later on, I'll just do an extra one to take the place. So here's where you can see all of those different colors with the polka dots done. I'm going to take those to the side with me as well and fussy cut them all out, and then I will come back and have everything ready to go. So the circles themselves, I am going to take another piece of cardstock. This time it's going to be a smooth cardstock. The one earlier that I actually stamped on was a textured cardstock. And then I'm going to place all of those circles around the page, giving this page a very polka dotted feel. But I love that they are also cut out, which gives that it gives each of the polka dots a little bit of shadowing and dimension. Once I have them where I like them, I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive onto that and stick them down onto the page. Then I will trim off the edges so that the ones that are interacting with the page will end where the line of the page is, and we'll go from there. My plan here is for each of these polka dots to serve as a section for me to add journaling to, which I will add into the solid filled section, and I'll leave the speckledy side as just a decorative speckledy side. Here's where you can see I am trimming that all off, and now that gives me a full polka dotted pattern paper to work with and to use as a home for my words. Now, I had originally thought that I would use the fussy cutout words, Life Goes On, inside of the pocket and stitch it directly into the pocket. But then I started thinking about how that would be really hard to actually get through my sewing machine. So instead, I went through my transparencies and I found this one, which came from the Buenos Dias collection from... I definitely think it was from Pink Fresh, but I don't remember, or it might have been American Crafts. I'll make sure to get it linked up down below. But it's got a bunch of confetti on it, and I loved that the confetti, the colors of the confetti went super well with the colors of the title as well as the colors of the inks that I used. So what I'm doing is adding the tiniest bit of adhesive to the top portion of each letter. And then I am putting that onto the transparency piece there, getting it as evenly in the middle as possible. And then I will press it down onto the transparency once I'm happy with it. That is going to allow me to keep those letters in the right position as I am stitching them onto the transparency, but then there's not going to be so much adhesive that when you look on the back side of this, transparency, this little card basically that I'm making, you're not really going to see the adhesive on the back. And that was my ultimate goal, was I wanted this to look as though it had just been stitched directly on here. It's just tricky because you also want your stuff to be aligned in the correct position and to have everything be close enough to each other that it makes sense and it's readable and, so on and so on and so on. So we're almost there. I am using my cutting board there. That's just like a self healing mat that you can use with things like a craft knife or a roller. What is that called with sewing? I can't think of it. It's like a roller blade. I think that's what it's called, is a roller blade, maybe. Anyway, you can use it with all those different things in order to cut on it, and it's self-healing. I also like to use them as a pseudo platform to help me put things on straight. So I don't have a T-square ruler. I just use the mat to help me. Once I had those all on there and in place, I'm then going to go ahead and add my stitching. I'm just using white thread and I'm making sure to back stitch so that everything stays in place. This is what it's going to look like when it's on top of the polka dot page, and I think it just gives it so much more like brilliance and color. I just really love it. It helps to fill in the white space that's left on the polka dotted page as well and make it seem like there's a lot of color even on that section. Then I'm going to add my double-sided adhesive onto both sides, or onto both sides of this layout. So on the back side of the photo and on the back side of my journaling page. My photo, I'm not going to add anything to it. It's just going to go into the book like this. I love this picture. It's one that we took when we went out for a picnic one day a couple weeks back. We were walking through town and got some sandwiches and then just stopped off next to the river to have a picnic. My sister-in-law took a picture of us from up above, and I just think it's such a cool picture. So then I am going to trim a little bit extra off of the transparency just so it goes down inside of the pocket nicely. And then I'm going to take my journaling page to the side and go ahead and fill out each of those little polka dots with some journaling. For this one, I was just trying to think about things that I am really grateful for right now, or things about life right now that will likely change later on, and especially as the summer ends and school starts. Here's where you can see all of my journaling in those circles, and it looks like I lied to you earlier. I did not only put it in the solid section, I put it all over the entire thing. So sorry about that. Yeah, because those circles are so little, so it didn't give me a ton of room to add my writing, so I just decided to put it on the entire circle instead of only in a section. All I had to do left was to go ahead and get it stuck down in the album, and then that is going to finish up this layout. All right, friends, that completes my spread for today. Love, 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 love this one so much. I'm so glad that I decided to pull out this transparency here to stitch the title onto the plastic part. It made it easier to slip it down inside of the pocket instead of having to figure out like how to get this underneath my sewing machine, and also having all of those added confetti pieces to fill in the white space around my polka dot paper is just really cool. I really, really enjoy that effect. So we've got my full page photo that I'm not going to add anything to. I'm just going to let it be a photo. And then the middle piece here, and then my polka dots that I created with journaling inside of each of them. Now, for my journaling with this project, what I decided to do was to just sit down and write down some reminders for myself. And the idea being that life is going to pass us by no matter what we do, whether we have a super busy schedule or a super open schedule, whether we choose to play or we choose to work, whether we go outside or we stay inside. It doesn't matter. Life is always going to keep on going on. And so these are reminders for things like, relax now, tomorrow will always be there to check it off, or say yes to spending time with other people, or feel all the feelings and then move on. So just reminders for life, right? Like, don't forget these things because life is just going to keep on going. And that's my spread for today. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing how this came together. If you did, I would love a thumbs up on this video down below, and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you can catch all of my future crafty videos. I am going to be back later in the week with some other process videos, so hopefully I'll see you back here for those. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know down in the comments section, and I also link up all of my products in the description down below as well, so you can check that out if you're looking for any of this. All right, well, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, friends.